This is hurting the San Diego Padres, as these players' performances for the Padres have been overall negative, and I think we should talk about that. Hi, welcome back to another episode of Padres Digest with your host, Andrew. Today we have our usual complaint about Padres offense again because what's new? Not a great game today, and we'll get into it in just a second. Before anything, please subscribe. We just passed 1,800. Let's get to 19, and then let's get to 2,000 because I like seeing numbers get bigger. Okay, so today, again, not a great day, and that's an understatement. I do want to fill you guys with some hope, and we'll do that in just a second. Before anything, though, we'll have our AJ Cassavell recap. Final, Marlins 4, Padres 3. Trade candidate Edward Cabrera stifled the Padres offense for most of the night. Padres rallied for 2 in the 9th, but the bottom of the lineup stranded the tying run on second base. Rubber match tomorrow. So yeah, you could say a lot of things about today, right? You could say the Padres offense sucked. You could say our pitching wasn't great, but I think it's an amalgamation of just everything, right? It's a team sport. When things happen, it affects something, right? In the simplest way, there's consequences for actions, and the consequences of everyone not playing to the at least standard variety of their play styles results in a loss. That sounded really stupid, but I hope that made sense, right? So for starters, I want to focus on this fact today. I'll show you this real quick. Hello, Jose Iglesias. This is a little rant. I'll try to censor it a little bit. That was horrible management in the 9th. Guy on second with no outs. Sure, just free swing and everything. Why couldn't we bunt Merrill III? Who the frick knows? Not pinch hitting Iglesias for someone with decent splits against a right-handed pitching. Dreadful decision. Then subbing in mother freaking Trenton Brooks just for him to crap the bed. I have more faith in Maldonado than I do Brooks. Absolutely horrible. And I mean, I'm not disagreeing with this. It's a little harsh, right? But I also gotta feel like we have to establish a couple of points. Yes, the bottom of the lineup is not good, right? We've known that for the entire year, but we can't just blame a loss on management and the end of the lineup when things like this happen. So Tatis, nothing, 2 strikeouts, and not even like great strikeouts. Like he was swinging at pitches like on the dirt. You know what I mean? Not the second one. The second one was kind of questionable, but the first one, absolutely, right? I mean, Arraez is fine, but Machado 0 for 4. When Tatis and Machado both go 0 for 4, that's not a great recipe for success, right? But everyone else did their job. Jackson Merrill did his job. Strikeouts aren't great, right? But he did get 2 RBIs, which is fantastic. But let's look at the last of the 9th, top of the 9th, right? Shildt with the walk, great. Bogaerts with the double. Bogaerts has been looking great recently. Merrill almost had a home run, and he was off the bottom of the wall. That's cool. And then Cronenworth flied out. People were saying he should have bunted. I just feel like Cronenworth bunting kind of wastes his at-bat, especially when you're going into 7, 8, 9, or not 7, 8, 9, 8 and 9, Iglesias and Maldonado. And then Iglesias, I wish we would have had a better at-bat. And then Brooks, I do agree I would have rather had Maldonado out there, because Maldonado, I'll show you this right now if I can find it. Here we go. Maldonado has hit a double in 3 consecutive games. It's the second time in his career he's ever done that. The other time was in June 2019 when playing with the Royals. So Maldonado has low-key looked better. And it's like a super low bar, right? Him playing better is like bare minimum, because below he was like below bare minimum. But if he does genuinely start at least contributing a little bit, which he has been, he's making the case of staying over Elias Diaz. And normally I would say Elias Diaz over Maldonado, but our coaching staff, like Mike Shildt, I might actually have this image still. Let me see. No, I don't. Okay. But my point, Mike Shildt and a lot of the players say they really like Maldonado because he's like a second pitching coach for them. So if he really does bring that kind of value, keep him. And if he does start hitting at least a bare minimum, honestly, if he hits his weight, I don't know what his weight is. I'm assuming like 200 something. If he could hit his weight and still help this pitching staff pitch well, that's a great backup to me, in my opinion. I still think we need another catcher. I'm not saying catcher's our biggest hole, but I still think we need another catcher. But in reality, what we need really badly, and shouldn't be that expensive, is a bench bat. Tomorrow, I'm going to have a video of a AAA player who could be called up to be a good bench bat. That being said, I said it in the video, and I'll say it right now before you guys try to kill me. I am fully aware the Pacific Coast League, where the AAA Chihuahuas play, is a hitter's paradise. And I know stats there don't always translate to Major League, but basically the whole point I'm trying to make in that video is why not? Why not try it out? But that's for tomorrow's video, right? Tomorrow morning. But let's read some more stuff real quick. Iglesias shouldn't be in the lineup versus righties, and Brooks shouldn't be on the roster. Need more moves ASAP. Preller. Yeah, so Brooks, I was defending him for a while. I think he's had enough at-bats that we've kind of seen what he's got. And it's not a lot, right? I mean, I'm sure we're waiting the trades for somebody so we can send him down so we don't waste an option. But at one point, do we realize that it's hurting us more to keep him on a team than to save an option? You know what I mean? I'm not mad at Iglesias giving people days off and starting. I'm not mad at it because I don't genuinely think Iglesias is a bad fit for this team. I think he's a gamer. He's literally won us multiple games this year just by him playing alone. You could say he's lost us games too, but right, like I've said before on the hour-long podcast I did, you could say he lost us games, but you could say that for literally everybody, right? It's a team sport. But I like Iglesias' value on this team a lot more than I like Brooks' value on this team, but I digress. What else do we have here? We'll say the biggest difference from this year and last year's team is you got Solano, Peralta, and Higgy up in those spots, not Iglesias and Brooks. So I don't get why we didn't at least try or like at least phone call Peralta. I know he's old, right? I know he's not the same player he used to be, but at this point, again, why not? You know what I mean? Why not? What's going to hurt us? If we don't like him, we'll just DFA him, right? I know it's kind of screwed up, but that's baseball. We're a business, right? Sometimes business decisions have to be made. But yeah, when you lose Solano, Peralta, and Higgy, three guys who overperformed from last year, it hurts, right? Because now I'm pretty sure Solano's playing pretty poorly for the Mariners. Peralta's not even in the MLB. And then Higgy is playing pretty poorly. So we got the best out of these players at the best time. So I'm sure Preller was trying to do that again for this year, but you can't expect a freak of nature coincidence to happen again, because let's be honest, it was low-key a freak of nature coincidence that they all played at their highest peak last year. Well, not their highest peak, right? I'm sure David Peralta and Solano have been better before, but my point being, for that period of time, that was the best they played in a while. Let's put it that way, right? But yeah, now imagine if you had Taylor Ward or Shea Langoliers in the bottom of the order. I don't know why you would put Taylor Ward at the bottom of the order, but I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying is that if we had those players in the lineup, we could put Cronenworth in 9, and he's a better. I don't hate Cronenworth. I know they talked about trading him. I know Christian just released a video about trading Cronenworth. I think that'd be a huge mistake, even if we could save some money. That's just my 2 cents. I'm not going to get too much into it, but there definitely has to be something done about the bottom of the lineup. That being said, we cannot just blame today on the bottom of the lineup. It is a team sport. When your star players are going 0 for 4, it's not a recipe for success. But like I said, I'll try to fill you guys with a little bit of hope. First of all, we lost the middle game of the National Series, and we won the next day, so we won the series. It is difficult to sweep opponents, even if they're bad. It is still difficult to sweep opponents. They are major league talent, right? And the Marlins have really good major league talent on the pitching side, but it's hard to sweep. We're not going to be on a 10-game Brewers win streak, and we're also not going to play like we did at the beginning of the year. Beginning of the year was, I don't want to say a fluke, it was a holy blessing onto this team, right? And we can't expect it to happen. Them winning series against below 500 teams is probably the best and average we can expect for the Padres, which is not bad. It's not bad, right? We should always be winning above 500 teams. I'm just saying we shouldn't expect a sweep of every opponent. Let's put it that way, right? But yeah, that's pretty much all I have for today. Did I have anything else I wanted to show you guys? No. I did want to bring up this real quick because I made it. I don't want to waste it. But batting order positions, 7, 8, 9. This is their batting average and OPS highlighted. 7's usually Crone, so I'm not going to hate on Crone too much. But, I mean, 192, 190, 8, and 9 with a below 6 OPS. It's not great, right? We're not going to argue it's not a problem, but there's solvable problems and problems we shouldn't overreact too much. Yes, you might say it's causing us to lose ball games, but I think we're going to make moves to fix it. Whether it's calling up that guy I'm going to talk about tomorrow from AAA or just finding a random player who can perform at least average to slightly below average. That's all we need. All we need, right? But thank you guys so much for watching. How do you feel about 789? Do you think we should fire them into the sun, trade Cronenworth, DFA everyone else? Who do you think we should bring up as a bench spot? How do you feel about the game overall? Do you think it was a horrible game, or do you think there was some heart in this team that was unseen? And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Also, we're not going to blame Kolek today. Hold on, I'm going to make this point real quick. I forgot to make this point. You could also say it's not 789 because if David Morgan didn't give up that run, we could have won the game. So again, it's a team sport. Team things happen. I'm not saying Kolek had a bad game, though. 3 earned runs against any team is fine. Okay, sorry. Forgot to make that point. Okay, now you can leave. Goodbye. Have a fantastic rest of your day. Go Padres. Please subscribe. Okay, bye.